Set your oven to 350 degrees. You can make Nutella cookies with 4 simple ingredients. 1 cup of Nutella, a half cup of all-purpose flour plus another tablespoon of all-purpose flour, semi-sweet chocolate chips, and 1 large egg. Alright, start by putting your flour in your bowl. So a half a cup of flour plus another tablespoon of all-purpose flour. And your egg, 1 large egg. And then your Nutella. So we're filling our 1 cup with the Nutella. It's easier to do it with a fork because the whisk, it just gets stuck. So basically it's just going to turn into a dough ball rather than like liquid. And now we have our dough, and next we're going to roll it into a dozen balls. So it's best to put some baking spray or cooking spray on your surface so they're not stuck once they're done baking. So we're going to start making our dough balls to about that much dough in your hand and just roll it into a ball. Some of these are a little bigger than others. But I'm going to try to get a dozen out of these about the same size. Now we have 12 almost even Nutella cookie dough balls. Alright, so you can either mix your semi-sweet chocolate chips into your dough ball, or you can add them after you've made your dough balls, and I prefer to add them after. Plus you can kind of flatten your dough ball a little bit as you're adding the chocolate chips. And you can add as many or little as you want. Okay, so now you have your chocolate chips in your dough balls, and the next step is they will go into the oven for 10 minutes. Alright, so they have about 3 more minutes to bake and they'll be ready to pull out, and they should be gooey in the center. Alright, so they've been in for 11 minutes actually, so here they are. They're actually a little larger in size, and they should be gooey in the center. We're going to let them cool for at least 5 minutes, and then we're going to test the center and see if it's gooey. Alright, so they've cooled for 5 minutes, and I'm going to take them off the pan, and they feel pretty gooey. Yeah, these are pretty gooey. I might want to let them cool a little bit longer than I did. Alright, so I'm going to test the center of one. Yep, gooey center. That's what you want. I'm going to test the recipe with replacing the Nutella with creamy peanut butter. So I'm going to try 1 cup of creamy peanut butter, 1 large egg, semi-sweet chocolate chips, a half cup of all-purpose flour, plus another tablespoon of all-purpose flour, and I'm going to see if this has the same end result as using Nutella. So we will have, hopefully, peanut butter cookies with chocolate chips. Alright, so we've got a 1 cup of creamy peanut butter in our bowl. We're going to start combining our egg and flour. So 1 large egg, 1/2 cup all-purpose flour, plus 1 more tablespoon of all-purpose flour. Now I'm going to use my fork again to combine the ingredients. I'm using a smaller bowl this time, so I'm being more careful because my ingredients are going to go over the side. So hopefully this creates the dough ball like the Nutella did. So we're starting to get a ball because it's harder to stir now. The consistency is a lot like the Nutella dough ball. Okay, so we have a pretty even dough ball. And I'm going to start making my dozen small dough balls out of it to make the cookies. So my pan is already greased from the previous batch of Nutella cookies. And I have my peanut butter dough ball. And I'm going to start creating a dozen peanut butter dough balls out of this large ball. So about that size. Dough balls are getting a little large. I could probably make them a little smaller. Alright, so we have a dozen somewhat even peanut butter dough balls. And we are going to bake these at the same time that we bake the Nutella cookies for 10 minutes at 350 degrees. We're checking the progress of the peanut butter cookies, and they've been in for 5 minutes and they are still in the form of balls. Okay, so this is the peanut butter cookies after 23 minutes of baking, and they do not appear to be flattening or turning into any type of cookie that we would expect like the Nutella cookies did. It is a failed attempt. The peanut butter does not take place in the Nutella, so you will not get peanut butter cookies with this recipe.